Hey everybody. So I was thinking, why does every single person on the internet, my bad, I misspoke. Why does every single person, period, that watches wrestling now, how come that actually likes it is a complete like cornball squeegee? Like, and I'm not saying this to be cool or whatever. I'm not cool. I'm a dork myself. But the fact is, people care about, oh, what did this wrestler do behind the scenes? It's like, this is an industry. Ever since, oh, look, I get caring about that back in the day, like during the 80s or 70s or something. But ever since the late 90s, every single wrestler is just openly a terrible person. Like, like, even the baby faces of the early 90s were terrible people. They were all horrible people, pretty much. I mean, the best character, like other than like Goldberg, and even then, he was like an insane asylum guy who would just hurt everybody in his way. Like he was just a crazy guy. And then there was Mick Foley, who was just insane and would get himself beat up. And then there was what is it? Sting, I guess, was an okay guy. But other than that, like a lot of baby faces like Kevin Nash, Austin, Rock, like these were all bad people. They were portrayed as bad people, and that was part of what made them cool. Like they were better than the bad guys, but they were still bad people. And it's like the idea that like we need a pacified version of wrestling. Like this pacified version. Like wrestling in the golden era was never this pacified ever. And by pacify, I don't mean like keep it pure and good. It's not a good kind of purity. The golden era being like family friendly, childlike goodness is not bad. But this, I hate to say it, this like libtarded, like leftist puritanism, where it's just like, oh, he said something racist 10 years ago, it's over, or oh, he said something sexist, or oh, he did this, he did that, and it's like, oh, women used to, the divas, that's problematic. This shit is garbage, okay? I hate this stuff politically, just period. Like even outside of wrestling. But you could see how it literally destroyed wrestling. It's like, what if I like every single promo from the year 2010 and before could probably just not be done in modern wrestling because it's too much yelling and too much like too toxically masculine. They try to feminize their opponent or like degrade their opponent. But it's like that's what wrestling is. Wrestling is about like it's to portray a bloody hardcore fight between two people. And so they'll say things about the other person, whether that be racial, sexual, personal, it doesn't matter. If people are talking smack about each other and you want to make it feel like a real fight, nothing should be off limits. And in the past, that was the case. You could get made fun of for being white, black, Asian, Hispanic, Indian. You get made fun of for everything because the opponent hates you. If someone says something derogatory, like racially towards you in wrestling back then, it's because they hate you. And it portrays a level of hatred. But now it's like everybody's walking on eggshells. And it doesn't feel like, oh, wow, these people really hate each other. It doesn't feel like these people hate each other at all. Like, not even close. Honestly, like it doesn't feel like these people hate each other at all. I don't think there's ever been a point in wrestling until like 2015 or like 2016 where everybody just it does not feel like anybody hates each other in wrestling. I've never seen like this amount of like lame behavior in wrestling. Like, and let's think about this. Let's think about Randy Orton. Randy Orton comes back, right? Like last year. He tells Rhea Ripley, "Daddy's back." It's like, "Oh my gosh, what a savage." And it's like, "Dude, Randy Orton should just RKO her." Like, that would have gotten such a big reaction. Randy Orton should have just RKO'd her. And you could say, "Oh, you can't hit a woman. You can't portray hitting a woman." Why not? We have vulgar jokes, we have sex jokes. It's not like there's anything like you could say swear words, you can say vulgar things, you could say sexual things, but you can't hit a woman. This is what I'm talking about. You can be as degenerate as possible, but never in a funny way. Because like this leftist garbage is like, you can't insult quote unquote, which is not even true, marginalized groups. So it's like you can't freaking say a racist thing that's funny or a sexist thing that's funny or like because it would have been better if Randy Orton just RKO'd Rhea Ripley. Okay, it just would have been better. Would it have been sexist? Yes, but it would have made a much better segment. Period. It would have made a better segment. Also, what's the point of Rhea Ripley, by the way? Like the point of China is like she's like a freak of nature that's a woman who can compete with the men. Why isn't Rhea Ripley like the same thing? Like what's the point? She might as well just be like first of all, no one cares about the women's division at all. Like the only people who care about the women's division are Coomers. Let's just keep it 100. Like what's her name? Liv Morgan's kind of hot, but she's not something I'd go out of my way to see. Like I've seen some. I used to see hotter girls back in high school when I was in high school. Like I like she's fine, she's sexy, but it's like who cares? It's not worth tuning into Raw to see her. But like whatever. It's not even about the women's division. It's about the fact that the men's division it doesn't feel like there's any like, for lack of a better term, ruthless aggression. There is no yelling. There's no, and when there is, it's either The Rock or like gay yelling, like from CM Punk, where it's like high pitched, like "I've been in this company for so long." Like everybody else is just so lame, and the matches are so long. Okay, I'm going on a tangent, but the point is, like nobody. It feels like the wrestlers like have a shot collar on them. It feels like you can't be too cool, or we're gonna taser you. That's what it feels like. Like we go from Triple H breaking into Randy Orton's house. We go from Hulk Hogan versus like foreigners. We go from uh, what is it? Uh, you know, Jerry Lawler calling Goldust a you know what. I don't want to get the video taken down. We go from Goldberg spearing Kevin Nash and the Wolfpack, like cool things, like legitimately cool stuff, like Vince McMahon, the Divas. We go from that to what do you want to talk about? To CM Punk sitting and talking with a gay high pitched voice about how even though he's a millionaire, how he's been screwed over. All the like, it's just a joke. It's a complete joke. The idea that wrestling has fallen off this much is absurd. And the original point I wanted to make is like everybody who used to watch wrestling, like the normal people that used to watch wrestling in the Attitude, Golden, Ruthless Aggression era, WCW, Nitro, they're all watching MMA now or UFC because this shit is garbage. It's fucking garbage. It's not good for kids. It's not good for adults. It's terrible for everybody because there's like sex jokes and poop jokes. There's no like real aggression and it's like and none of it's really edgy. It's safe and familiar and it's trash. It's corporate trash. Anyways, you guys have a good night. Hey everybody. So I was thinking, why does every single